My dear Penultimo, you never cease to surprise me. Can you even imagine the possibilities of the situation you have created by sending the shipments and the funding for Isla Guerra to Isla Guerrera? The people there will try to rebel in a few years, so I will have to make an unpopular political feint. I need time to form my plan. I will announce that I'm being hospitalized. In the meantime, you will take control of the state as my first secretary. Follow my orders closely and without fear, and we will circle around the crisis like political sharks.
Okay. Time to start. So I'll just continue using the same traits that I have been so far. Let's start.
Fellow Tropicans, you all feel the difficulties we face, but they also haven't spared our dear El Presidente. He is in the hospital, but the doctors assure us he is in good health and of sane mind.
Penultimo. Okay.
Presidente, I finished reading the book you recommended. It was my first, and I was very excited.
So what's Penultimo up to now? The back cover of the book had a very exciting summary, and even that I read only this part. I know why you want me to make a clinic. It is a clever move of yours, Presidente. The Hollywood actor you ordered via the mail will arrive soon. The clinic will be the place where he will receive his plastic surgery to act as your double. Amazing, El Presidente. Okay, so if we build a clinic, we get 5,000 bucks. First things first, I always like to set the perspective to match the orientation in the map. So, yep, this is north and it points up. I vaguely remember playing this map once before, and for whatever reason I just didn't build a clinic. For maybe like an hour into the game, I just kept investing into other things, building. I generally like to build a clinic and a church first. That takes care of most of the citizens, and then I focus on entertainment. So since the mission wanted us to build a clinic, I just didn't, to see what would happen, and everything was fine. I mean, all the other objectives that would get unlocked or triggered upon building a clinic, they just did get triggered, that's it. But then in the end I remember that there was some time limit or something, and yeah, yeah, I just couldn't finish one of the missions within time, and unfortunately, because I didn't save any intermediate, I didn't save often. I was just relying on the auto saves, so everything just kind of failed, and I had to start again. So this time around, we'll not make that same mistake. We'll still hold on to building a clinic. We won't build one just yet. I think it makes sense to get the economy working first. And then we can focus on the rest. The mission, that is. So one of the first things that we need to do is reduce the wages. So I generally start with everything being 3, 4 and 5. So for folks who are new to Tropico or Tropico 4, there are generally there are three levels of education in this game. The lowest is uneducated, then there is a high school educated, and then the highest is the college educated. So I don't know how much this actually saves in the long run, but I generally find that starting with wages 3 for uneducated and 5 for the college educated ones and high school ones in the middle at 4 is fine. I mean, as soon as you have that immigration office set up, it is able to bring up easily 20 to 30 people on a ship. So I never had any issues with there not being enough people to play with. Okay, so we started with the church. And we should get some bombs. Crop conditions. So let's see, corn. We can do corn here, probably somewhere slightly towards the north. No banana on this map, definitely not. Okay, papaya. Okay, papaya, pineapple, corn. All of them are kind of in this area. So there are already two farms in this map. Both of them are set to corn. That takes care of our immediate food needs. Probably we need one more farm. Let's set that right next to it. Food and resources farm. And let's set that to maybe papaya. Yeah, I like papaya. Okay, that takes care of that. You can see now we don't have any high school educated people on the island. So that's the next thing we want to do. Build a high school. One thing I generally try to do is have all these buildings right next to each other, so the Presidente can walk around them and increase their efficiency.
What matter requires Presidente's attention?
So right now the high school is yet to get built.
What matter requires Presidente's attention?
So let's move the Presidente
If you want something done, do it yourself.
onto the construction site. I think some of Let's maybe try and get them normalized. Okay. Or maybe we can do it the other way. Bring everything up.
Estaba yo pensando en travesuras de la vida, en lo mucho que te amaba y en lo mucho que te quería. No me explico ni cómo nuestro amor, tú lo fingías una relación que yo amaba, llena de sabor, llena de mentiras. Y ahora que lo sé, ya no te quiero, te quise con locura.
Okay.
Márchate de mi vida, por favor. Hemos terminado, sobrevivir sin nuestro amor. Manchaste mis esperanzas, le echaste frío al calor. Si te encuentras a otro, acuérdate de no mentir. Te pagará por mi dolor. Con lo que me hiciste te vas a arrepentir. Tus travesuras resultaron, oye, en muchas amarguras. La vida sufre tu condena, mala mujer, vete, no te quiero ver. Estaba yo pensando.
Ajá. Muy buena. No me interesa.
Only one guy on the island is unemployed, even though there are 10 jobs. Okay, most likely he'll end up being a papaya farmer soon. The construction worker is coming right.
En la primavera yo viví el invierno
So we
por
are
tu
getting
corazón de
close to $0 in
invierno.
our budget.
En travesuras de la
But
vida.
I'm expecting one of our allies to kick in with their sponsorship. Anytime now. So that will probably be about $7,000. What will that allow us to do? Probably would want to add some cash crops. Generally, I would do that using a plantation. So we can probably, let's see, I always forget this. What's the most expensive? So a plantation can grow coffee and I think sugar and tobacco. Yep. The most expensive or most profitable is coffee. So we probably have a coffee plantation as soon as one of our allies came with some funds for us. Like you can see here, this yellow sun means that this building is at its peak efficiency. So if it is a farm, it would produce the maximum amount of corn or papaya, whatever it is said to. If it is some building like church, which is supposed satisfaction. So yeah, let me just show that. Yeah, happiness. So if we look at the happiness, it's at 47% right now. What that basically means is people are somewhat happy, not really happy, not too angry. And the overall happiness is due to a bunch of factors, including healthcare, entertainment, religion. This is the one that the church is going to increase. So right now you can see that it's at 36% and dropping. That's because even though we have a church, we don't have any workers, no priests in the church, because we need high school educated citizens for that. So once we have some priests here, then these slots for the visitors get opened up, and then the religious happiness will start increasing as people, the religion quality and religion happiness will start increasing as people visit the church. So you can see it's already dropped by 1%, probably a minute, which means we have half an hour before citizens get really angry because they don't have church. So coming back, so this is our El Presidente guy.
Never fear, Presidente is
I would like to
here.
remind all students of the consequences
whenever
What
of
matter
misdemeanors.
requires
particular
Presidente's
building.
attention? Time to check up on my
He
people.
increases the efficiency of the
Successful
building
murder
to
of
the
a
max.
classmate. Spanking. Becoming a rebel and blowing up the school. Meeting with the school counselor. Assassinating El Presidente, right? I will not kill Presidente again. 100 times.
Okay, so while we waited for the high school to get built, we have received some financial aid. Seems like we are on good terms with both the US and USSR, so they have kind of maximum or near maximum funds, about $4,000 each, and we have almost 8K there. That means we can now build our money making cash crops. Okay, so here's the thing. If we were to plant coffee as we decided, a coffee plantation, you can see that there is nothing on the island right here. It's pretty far inland, which is ideal conditions for coffee. So even though coffee is going to get us the most money, I don't think the harvest of coffee would be that great in these regions which aren't green. Same goes to tobacco, but sugar is pretty green, and if we look at the profits, sugar is going to get us about 1,000, whereas coffee is 1,500. So I think this time around I'll still stick with coffee, even though the conditions aren't ideal. We'll probably make more just due to the fact that sugar is going to net us a lot more per unit that we produce.
Never fear, Presidente is here.
Like you can see, we just moved the president into this corn farm, and after spending a minute,
Time to
this
check
corn
up on my
farm
people.
is boosted to its peak efficiency. So this is something you'll see me keep doing throughout the game. To constantly move the president around. To start with between farms, but soon we'll also start moving them around. So there were two female citizens who were high school educated. So we got a high school up and running with 4 slots open. And yep, we are getting more female citizens educated, which is good. And looks like there is already one male citizen who has even graduated from the high school. I guess he just needed to finish a couple of credits. And we have the church up and running. So as you can see, all the slots aren't open yet because we have only a single priest. But that should at least stop the religion quality from dropping down very fast. It's already down to 31. So a good idea is always to look at things that aren't contributing to happiness, or rather the ones which are red, which have low quality, and focus on buildings that help. So we are deliberately not going to build a clinic early on just to toy with this scenario. And liberty is something which is not really critical in the early parts of the game. People may rebel, but then as long as you have these other factors relatively high enough, people don't rebel. And we can in the end just build a TV tower or a radio station and immediately boost liberty a month or two of the game time. So we'll do that in the later stages of the game. So right now we are not focusing on healthcare, not focusing on liberty. That leaves entertainment and religion, and of course food. So religion is good for now. High school is going to keep churning out graduates, and they'll keep getting added to the church. So that's going to
Talk
take
fast, I
care
don't have
of
all day.
itself.
It's always all work and no play for President Day.
Why is nobody building anything?
What do you want? I'm busy ruling.
Let's set its priority to high.
What do you want? I'm busy ruling.
As always. So what else do we have? The immigration office set up and the policy to open doors, which means we don't really care what kind of immigrants we get, educated, uneducated, college educated, everyone's welcome right now. Generally this provides the maximum boost to immigration, so we get maximum number of people coming in over the books. Okay, let's see how many we get on this one. So we have a freighter approaching the dock, and we have about 145 resources ready to be exported as well. At this point I'm sure it's just some surplus corn and maybe some papaya as well. Unlikely because the production says 0. So corn, about 100 units, 700 units of corn have been produced, and I don't think we ate all of them. So we are probably exporting about 145 of it this month. So we won't get much for it. Corn is one of the cheapest things to produce. Why do you have it set to import as well? We don't want to import corn. Okay. So farmer is dropped in. That means some of these 16 free job positions will get filled, and will create a lot more coffee soon. As you can see now, there is just one guy, or rather one girl building this, Liana Cruz. And then still the plantation is getting built reasonably fast. That's because we have a El Presidente.
Talk fast, I don't have all day.
We have the golden sun. Right. The next thing that we can do, we should probably be getting. So we get those financial aids once a year. So right now it's August of 1971. So probably a few months to go before we get. That's it, another month. Okay. I think a month is probably a minute in this game. So in the next 5 to 10 minutes, we should get another round of financial aid. Which would be about $8,000.
What do you want? I'm
Generally,
busy
it's
ruling.
a good idea not to go in the negative because that temporarily or even permanently kind of pushes the relationships with foreign countries. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foreign relations that we need to be wary of. Right now we are not doing too bad. In fact, this would be pretty much. I'd be happy if it stays this throughout the game. It'll probably get slightly better as we start exporting more goods. So that's a good thing. In addition to all the money that we'll make.
Talk fast, I don't have all day. What is it now?
Start Presidente
Time to check up on my people.
on some of his supervision work. As you can see, the papaya farm is all up. Corn farms are doing good, and the coffee plantation is also up and running, one of them at least. And the other one is still getting built.